If you've been struggling with bloating, constipation, IBS symptoms, poor digestion, low energy, or you simply want to improve your health from the inside out, then this video's for you. Today I'm going to show you exactly what I eat to support my gut health, and what each food actually does inside your body, and why scientists now believe that your gut influences far more than just digestion. Your gut affects your immune system, your metabolism, your inflammation levels, and even how your gut communicates with your brain. I'm not a doctor or a nutritionist, so this isn't medical advice. I'm simply sharing what I personally include in my diet, learning what the current evidence says about these foods. Let's get started. What is your gut microbiome? Before we talk about food, let's understand what we're actually feeding. Inside your digestive tract lived around 28 trillion microorganisms, including bacteria, fungi and other microbes. Together they're called your gut microbiome. Now, the word bacteria often gets a bad reputation, but most of these bacteria aren't harmful at all. In fact, many are absolutely essential for good health. Scientists now know that these microbes help break down certain fibres that your body can't digest on its own, produce beneficial compounds called short-chain fatty acids, which help to keep your gut lining healthy, produce vitamins such as vitamin K and some B vitamins, help regulate your immune system, protect against harmful bacteria, and help absorb nutrients from food. They influence metabolism and appetite. Microbiome is like an entire ecosystem living inside of you. The healthier and more diverse it is, the better it tends to function. Why does gut health matter so much? Around 70% of your immune cells are found within or around your gut, making it one of the most important parts of your immune system. Your gut also communicates constantly with your brain through something called the gut-brain axis. This communication happens through nerves, hormones, immune signals and chemicals produced by your gut bacteria. Now, you might have heard that around 95% of the body's serotonin is produced in the gut. The statement is true, but here's something many people don't realise. Most of that serotonin doesn't travel into your brain. Instead, it mainly helps regulate digestion and movement through the intestine. However, the gut and brain are constantly sending signals to each other, and researchers are finding that a healthy gut microbiome appears to play an important role in this communication. There's one reason why stress can upset your stomach, and why digestive health and mental well-being are increasingly being studied together. Taking care of your gut isn't just about digestion, it's about supporting your whole body. Before we get into the foods, there are two words that you'll hear a lot: probiotics and prebiotics. Probiotics are the beneficial bacteria found in fermented foods. Prebiotics are the fibres that feed on those bacteria. Think of it like this: probiotics are planting flowers, the prebiotics are what are watering them, and you need both. A lot of people spend money on probiotic drinks, but forget to eat enough fibre. Without fibre, many of those beneficial bacteria simply don't thrive. Now let's get into the foods. Number 1, kefir, my number 1 gut food. If I could only recommend one food for gut health, I'd probably be kefir. Personally, I like to buy Yo Valley organic kefir yoghurt, Yo Valley kefir drinks, Biotiful kefir drinks, and Graham's Family Dairy kefir drinks. These are usually available in Tesco, Sainsbury's, Asda, Morrison's, Waitrose, Ocado and many co-op stores. Why is kefir so good? Kefir is one of the richest natural sources of probiotics. Unlike many yogurts that contain just 2 or 3 bacterial strains, kefir naturally contains a much wider variety of beneficial bacteria and yeasts. Having a more diverse gut microbiome is associated with better digestive health and overall well-being. Research suggests that kefir may help with improved digestion, support immune function, increase beneficial bacteria, help restore gut bacteria after antibiotics, improve lactose digestion in some people, and supporting a healthy gut barrier. I usually have one serving every day. For me, consistency is much more important than quantity. The next thing that I eat regularly is sauerkraut. It's simply fermented cabbage, but don't let that put you off. It's one of the easiest ways to increase your intake of live bacteria. Some of the best supermarket options include the Das raw sauerkraut and the Cultured Food Company organic sauerkraut. Just look for the refrigerated versions that say raw, live or unpasteurised. Many shelf-stable jars have been pasteurised, which kills the live bacteria. Of course, you can also make your own, although I haven't because I'm too lazy to be honest. Just 1 or 2 forkfuls with lunch or dinner is enough. Another staple is live yoghurt, natural yoghurt, Greek yoghurt and organic if your budget allows. The important thing is checking the label for live cultures. Live yoghurt contains probiotics that help support the balance of bacteria in your gut, while also providing protein, calcium and other important nutrients. Yoghurt is especially high in protein, making it great for breakfast or a snack. I usually have mine with berries, oats, nuts or seeds. I also regularly use organic apple cider vinegar with the mother. Now the mother is the big cloudy thing that floats inside the vinegar, and it's made up of naturally occurring bacteria, yeast and compounds that are produced during fermentation. As well as being good for your gut by feeding the good bacteria, it's also great for killing off anything unwanted in the body, reduces inflammation, and some studies suggest that apple cider vinegar was up to 90% as effective as antibiotics and may help with supporting digestion and reducing blood sugar spikes after meals. I dilute 1 tablespoon in water with some raw honey to counter the acidity before meals. Never drink it neat because it's highly acidic and can damage your teeth. Next is fibre, the most important thing you're probably not eating enough of. This is probably the single most important section of this video. Without enough fibre, your gut bacteria literally doesn't have enough food. When beneficial bacteria digest fibre, they produce compounds called short-chain fatty acids. One of the most important is butyrate. Butyrate feeds the cell linings of your colon, helps strengthen your gut barrier, supports your immune system, helps reduce inflammation, and supports healthy bowel movements. Scientists recommend around 30 grams of fibre every day, but most people don't get anywhere near that amount. So don't just focus on probiotics, feed the bacteria you've already got. Next is garlic. Garlic is packed with prebiotic fibres called fructans. These feed beneficial bacteria like bifidobacteria and lactobacillus. Garlic also contains allicin, a natural compound that's been studied for supporting immune health and heart health. Adding fresh garlic into your meal several times a week is an easy win. Next one that I like is onions and leeks. Onions and leeks are 2 of the richest sources of probiotic fibre. They're particularly high in inulin and fructans, which feed beneficial bacteria and help them to produce short-chain fatty acids. They're incredibly easy to include in soups, curries, casseroles and stir-fries. Next up is oats. Oats are one of the healthiest breakfasts you can eat. They contain a soluble fibre called beta-glucan. This fibre feeds beneficial bacteria, helps lower LDL cholesterol, supports blood sugar control and keeps you fuller for longer. I eat porridge most mornings because it's one of the easiest ways to increase fibre. Next is beans and lentils. These are probably some of the most underrated foods for gut health. They're packed with fibre, resistant starch and plant protein. Research constantly shows that people who eat more legumes tend to have healthier, more diverse gut bacteria. Try including chickpeas, kidney beans, lentils, butter beans, cannellini beans, black beans. Your gut bacteria absolutely love them. we've got cooked and cooled down potatoes. This one surprises a lot of people. When potatoes are cooked and then cooled down, some of the starch changes into something called resistant starch. Unlike ordinary starch, resistant starch isn't digested in your small intestine. Instead, it reaches your large intestine, where your gut bacteria ferment it and produce butyrate. That means cooled potatoes actually become food for your beneficial gut bacteria. The great thing is that once resistant starch has formed, a good amount remains even if you gently reheat the potatoes. So potato salad, leftover boiled potatoes, or reheated potatoes can all be great options for your gut health. Then we've got bananas, especially slightly green bananas. They contain more resistant starch than the very ripe bananas. Again, this resistant starch feeds beneficial bacteria and supports the production of butyrate. Then we've got apples. Apples contain a fibre called pectin. Pectin acts as a prebiotic and helps beneficial bacteria produce those important short-chain fatty acids. Try to eat the skin as well, because that's where much of the fibre is found. Then we've got berries. Blueberries, strawberries, raspberries and blackberries are packed with fibre and polyphenols. These plant compounds interact with your gut bacteria, helping support a healthier microbiome. Plus they're full of antioxidants and vitamin C. Then we've got nuts and seeds, especially walnuts, almonds, chia seeds, flaxseed and pumpkin seeds. They're packed with fibre, healthy fats and plant compounds that feed beneficial bacteria. Brown flaxseed is one of my favourites because it's an incredibly easy way to boost fibre intake. Next up is kimchi. Kimchi is basically Korea's version of sauerkraut. It's made from fermented vegetables like cabbage, garlic, ginger and chilli. It's another fantastic way to increase your intake of live bacteria while adding plenty of flavour to meals. Then we've got miso. Miso is made from fermented soybeans. It's commonly used in Japanese cooking and is another great fermented food to include. If you're making miso soup, add miso towards the end rather than boiling it for a long time, especially if you're using an unpasteurised miso, to help preserve more of its beneficial microorganisms. Now this next one might come as a surprise because not many people think of it as a probiotic, and that's extra virgin olive oil. But extra virgin olive oil contains polyphenols that beneficial gut bacteria feed on. It's also a key part of the Mediterranean diet, which is consistently associated with better heart health and overall well-being. Herbs and spices. Don't underestimate herbs and spices. That means garlic powder, turmeric, ginger, rosemary, oregano, thyme, cinnamon and paprika. They all contain different plant compounds that your gut bacteria interact with. Even small amounts count towards the variety of plant foods that you eat each week. The biggest secret to gut health. If there's one thing scientists have learned over the past decade, diversity matters. Research has shown that people who eat around 30 different plant foods every week tend to have a much more diverse gut microbiome than people who eat fewer than 10. And remember, a plant food isn't just fruit and vegetables. It includes fruit, vegetables, beans, lentils, whole grains, oats, seeds, herbs and spices. Every different plant feeds slightly different bacteria. The more variety you eat, the more diverse your gut microbiome becomes. Lifestyle matters too. Food is incredibly important, but it's not the whole picture. Your gut bacteria are also affected by sleep, regular exercise, stress levels, smoking, alcohol, ultra-processed foods, unnecessary antibiotics. Looking after your gut means looking after your overall lifestyle. My daily gut routine. On most days I aim to include kefir, live yoghurt, sauerkraut, apple cider vinegar with the mother, plenty of fruit and vegetables, oats, beans and lentils, garlic and onions in my cooking, nut seeds, extra virgin olive oil, and I also try to eat as many different plant foods as possible across the week, rather than eating exactly the same meals every day. Gut health isn't about finding one miracle food or buying expensive supplements. It's about building healthy habits that you stick to over time. Eat fermented foods regularly. Eat plenty of fibre, feed your gut bacteria with prebiotic foods, aim for lots of different plant foods every week, get enough sleep, move your body, and remember, you're not just feeding yourself, you're feeding the trillions of beneficial microbes that help keep your body functioning every single day. Found this video helpful? Please give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments what your favourite gut-friendly food is, or if there's something else I should try next. Thanks for watching, see you on the next one.